fine, and I hope that they remain that way.
Okay.
My condolences go out to the family, and that's all I can say right now.
That's the lawyer for ex-cop Eddie Coelho, whose wife has been found murdered, stuffed in a trash bag, dumped in a wooded area about 20 miles from her Bronx apartment. And take a look at her husband today, leaving a police station. This guy, Eddie Coelho, he's an ex-cop. In fact, he had to quit the department in 2000 because of a domestic incident involving another wife. New York's top cop tells the New York Daily News Coelho is a person of interest in his wife's murder because of their tumultuous past. He was the last person to see her. Rhonda, Florida, your question or thought, man?
Thank you for taking my call, Jane.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on your sobriety.
Thank you so much.
I'm very proud of you. I really am.
I appreciate it. That's very sweet of you. And what's your question, ma'am?
The question, I have a two-part question. One is, does anyone in the family know or knew that he beat her, like, before? They have, like, proof? Did she confide in anyone? And the second part of it is, does he think he's beyond the law because he's a police officer?
Oh, well, that's a good question because of, well, look at the Drew Peterson case that we've talked about in connection with this. So many parallels. John Lieberman, it seems to be a host of examples here of alleged domestic violence on the part of this man.
Well, absolutely. And again, we've said it, but this victim did everything she was supposed to do. She filed a restraining order the same day she filed for a divorce 1 month ago. But I'll tell you, to the point of, is this guy getting any preferential treatment because he's a cop? I can tell you, I spoke to my sources today, absolutely not. They want to nail this guy to the wall. They believe that he is going to get charged very, very soon. Right now, they're trying to figure out when exactly this woman was killed. Was she killed in the house on Friday evening after she was last seen going into the house at 7, or was she killed somewhere else? The working theory right now is that she was indeed killed in the house, and that was when she was last seen, and that is what investigators are pursuing right now.
Now, this husband, Eddie Coelho, actually called 911 to report his wife missing. Here's my big issue tonight. Is 911 call an alibi or evidence? Calling 911 doesn't automatically mean you're innocent. Check out this husband who called 911 after cops say he murdered his wife and then staged it to look like a stranger attack. Listen to this.
Where's your wife at now?
She's in the computer room.
Okay, is she still breathing?
No, I don't. There's a lot of blood. Please hurry.
Now, Tina was supposedly last seen at 9 o'clock Friday night. John Lusage, it is fortunate, despite this horrific tragedy, within the context of the tragedy, it's fortunate that they found the body so quickly because that means that they would have more evidence to collect there, correct?
Absolutely. There's going to be a lot of evidence on that body, especially before the warm weather set in, which it's starting to do, as you see outside. When you talked about the 911 call, it could be both. But in this case, I would love to see this timeline. When he carried that big bag out, was that before or after the 911 call? All of the stuff is going to come into play. So that 911 call and the timing of that 911 call is going to be crucial. And if they don't charge this guy before next Tuesday, I'll be really surprised.
All right. An Issues caller had a fantastic idea last night. Listen to this.
We have a sex offender database. Is it time for a women abuser database?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think that is so fantastic. I say bravo, and it is my call to action tonight. A domestic violence registry. Okay, just like they have a sex offender registry, women would be able to go on the computer and check the person they're dating and find any information so that they could avoid relationships with abusive men. Heidi Banks, psychotherapist, that's doable.
It's doable, but it also doesn't take the responsibility off the community. And that's something to really talk about here. The neighbors said that they heard them arguing earlier. They've been hearing them argue very violently for 2 weeks. And that's a call to action to the community. And people should be aware of this, that when you know of domestic violence, when you know somebody is going through something, it is your responsibility to step up. And often with lists like this, they think, okay, so it's public and I don't have to do my part. Her ex-husband said she was very quiet about it, but he knew about it. I wondered why he didn't step forward even more. I'm not blaming him, but I'm just curious why the veil of silence.
Because nobody wants to get involved. That's the bottom line. I can tell you, someone who's prosecuted these cases for years. People don't want to get involved. Not only do people or strangers not want to get involved, But a lot of times victims themselves don't want to come to court and have to testify against the abuser. The cycle is disgusting and it's terrible. Her ex-husband knew that she had a broken jaw. He kept her from the kids at one time because she was beaten so savagely. So that's really what happens here. This is a horrible crime. It's uncomfortable for people to talk about. It's uncomfortable for the victim of domestic abuse. And strangers, unfortunately, don't want to have to get involved in it.
A cliche, but we have to say it. It's a cautionary tale. Thank you, fantastic panel. Top of the hour.
I would assume that the husband called 911 after he disposed of his wife's body. If he would have called 911 while his wife's body was still laying in the apartment and the cops arrived, obviously the cops would find the body. So I'm not even sure why he even made that statement. And, or why he even asked the question, because of the fact that it's pretty obvious that he did it afterwards. And if it was done on a cell phone, the records will show where he made that phone call from. For all we know, he could have made it from the area that he disposed of the body. My other thought is going to the surveillance video where it shows someone appearing to be him dragging something, whether it's in a bag or a duffel bag. And looking at his photos, looking at the video of him, he appears to me to be rather short in stature. And I was judging that against his attorney who was next to him, the woman, who was taller than him. Obviously she was in heels, but clearly taller than him. So I would say that he would not have been capable of carrying her, but more so dragging her. Because if they lived in an apartment where he had to come down the stairs, oh, I didn't want to go there. Oh, he didn't go there. Got to take that out of my head. But cell phone records, time of phone call, evidence in truck. And I have to thank the two children that were out in the park riding their ATVs and finding this woman. They are truly heroes in my book.